Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new edition of Real World News TV. I'm one of the hosts, Reggie Kearney, and I have with me tonight Sherry Ann Tampin and Tony Breela. I know I'm sitting in court right now, but I'm not. Having some problems getting on my laptop, so I thought I'd get on my iPad. So how's everyone doing?
Good.
Yeah, I'm too.
Good.
How are you?
Good. I'm doing fine, but I tell you, we got a lot going on in this country right now. A lot of stuff. And so, but we want to look at maybe three of the top trending topics in America right now, and go with them. Joshua Brown and his death. Very sad, regardless of the circumstances, because he was one of the key witnesses in the Amber Guyger trial. To see him gone, it's very disappointing. It's a sad loss, like I said, regardless of what the situation is. And then we have how you pronounce the name again, Tony?
Atatiana.
Atatiana Jefferson, who was shot and killed in her home by a Fort Worth police officer over the weekend. And that has really got me irritated, okay? Because it seems like white cops keep killing black people. Now I'm trying to give an excuse and say, well, some white cops. The bottom line is white cops are killing black people, okay? And it's got to stop. And then Jesus' new son popped on the scene at Howard University this weekend. Predominantly black HBCU for the homecoming. Jesus West came out to Howard University campus. And while I was at work, I was only like 5 minutes from the campus. Somebody sent me the video. They were singing a gospel song during that time. But, we're going to start with him. Something a little light. Kanye West. But look, he opened his mouth up, as always, and he messed up. If he had any opportunity to get his black card back this week, he didn't get it. Okay, now, what he did was made a comment saying, and I'm paraphrasing it. The next time, if don't be standing around when they start capturing slaves again, and you won't get caught. That's sort of what it was was.
See, I didn't read that much on it.
I read it.
That's disturbing.
It is, but see, this is the problem. And then I'm gonna turn it over to you guys for a minute. We keep giving Kanye a break, okay? Now we already know he's a Trump-loving, right-wing evangelical person, okay? But we keep giving him a break, and then he makes comments like this, okay? And I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it. So what are y'all thoughts on him showing up at Howard University?
Why Howard?
Well, they were having a homecoming. You got to realize Howard University, when they have a homecoming, it's like celebrity week here in D.C., okay? A lot of celebrities show up. It's just and a lot of celebrities have gone to Howard. So it's a big thing. So he showed up with his Sunday service on Saturday morning.
But okay, so why now are you an evangelist when you've been nothing but the devil since you hit the scene?
He saw the light.
Of what? What?
He saw the light. Some was shining in his face. And like, okay, look, when Saul, he was on the road to Damascus, he saw the light.
Okay. We talking about Kanye. Come on.
Let me see. Okay, this is what he said. What he said very quickly. Kanye said, if they're throwing slave nets again, how about we all don't stand still in the same place?
What the hell? I mean, even when Africans were captured in slavery, they didn't.
You won't stand around.
They didn't go kindly because they didn't know nothing about the white man.
Right.
So, in fear, would you stand still and huddle?
Look, I'd be on the run. You know,
Makes sense.
yeah.
So,
But what you think, Sharon?
Well, I will confess that I didn't watch it. I, I truly see Kanye as mentally ill. Ever since his accident, he has not been the same. He used to be a really good lyricist, and it's just been all downhill since then. And I feel as though the last, let's say, 5 years, I've been watching this man fall apart, and it just seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. I I I didn't watch it for a few reasons. One, I didn't want to be entertained by this man's mental demise because that's what it seems like to me. And I didn't want to add fodder to it because he has aligned himself with Trump on numerous occasions. But he has nothing substantial to offer the community at this stage. God bless him. Try as he might. He's certainly not an intellect. He's not a political figure. He he is not part of the solution in any stretch of the imagination. So
right.
I didn't give it any time. Now, in light of what you've said, I might watch it for shits and giggles, but I still feel guilty because I just don't feel like I feel like this man is ill and he's lost, and I don't think that he's getting the kind of psychological, spiritual, mental support that he needs to dig himself out of whatever hole he is in, if he can.
Mm.
I don't sometimes I get really frustrated with his antics, but then you know what? You can't get frustrated with people who are mentally ill. And I truly believe that he is not well.
Okay,
And
but let's look at it from another standpoint, from the church's view. Okay, now you've got some ministers and pastors coming out giving him support, saying they feel like he's seen the light. That he's he even said that he's a born again Christian. Okay, so how do you answer those in the neighborhood who are saying, and mostly African American pastors who are saying, give him a chance to see what is excuse me, what has really transpired in his life?
I think that if he gets support from the religious community rather than gets used to bring the spotlight to their church, if they genuinely are trying to help him, that's fine. If he has genuinely felt a light of some sort and thinks that this path is going to give him the sense of peace that he has clearly been missing for the last umpteen years, I think that's great. But I think that this man should be taken out of the public forum altogether. I think he needs to go someplace secluded, have a come to Jesus moment, meditate, do something, get medication. But being in the public forum is not conducive to our finding a solution in our community, and it's certainly not conducive to his mental well-being.
But
You know,
that's never going to happen, okay? Because so many people buy his albums. Everybody's anticipating his new album out called Jesus something.
So,
Anticipating that coming out.
right, but is his appearance at Howard University a stunt for selling that out?
But no, because he went to George Mason, which is a predominantly white university, later on that day for a listening session. Okay, if it was GW or George Mason, he went there for a listening section. Okay, so he went to a white university for the listening section. But like I said again, Howard University homecoming is a homecoming that brings all the celebrities from around the country. You got to look at a lot of people who have been there. The guy who played in Black Panther, he graduated from Howard University. What's the name on Empire? Tahaji. She graduated from Howard University. So it's a plethora of individuals that have graduated from Howard University. So this is a big thing in the DC area homecoming weekend. So granted, he probably knew it was a big thing. He showed up.
you know what? He just reminds me of somebody who's suffered brain trauma or has dementia. They go through certain steps because they still want to be a part of society or part of the group that they were with before, but they don't know what they're doing or why they're doing it. And,
Okay.
I feel very sad for him. I really do. I think he is a lost soul in
I
more
mean,
ways than one.
yeah, but I mean, if this is not like a publicity stunt and he is really trying to find his way back into, becoming a good Christian and all that, hats off to him. Hats off to him. I will not knock that. But the moment we find out, well, I'm done with him anyway, but the moment we find out that this is just a publicity stunt to sell his new album, I'm really done. Because now um, you've put yourself in front of people with false intention, and you have lured them into that false intention. And that's where you can kind of like count me out. I will not support it. I won't.
I mean, even the last song I heard that was that where he's wearing like that fake tin can outfit and he's hopping around. Absolute idiocy. There's no value to that at all. And if that's the direction that his so-called Christian album is going to go in, then shame on his managers for sucking at his teeth when he is clearly not a well individual. They are determined to make money off of him, and he has no support system. His family's not truly supporting him. You don't really see him with his wife anymore. And to me, that was always a publicity stunt to begin with.
Yeah.
He's had a falling out with the African American community because of his support of Trump. Trump doesn't really respect or like him. Like where this is true. Where is his community? Where is his support?
Well, look,
But
I just don't believe it. I just think it is I think it's just a ploy of selling the album. I just do.
okay. But this is okay. This is the thing, okay? Now listen, Tony. You don't need to have that blouse on. It's too sexy and too revealing, okay?
What the hell?
That's what he told. That's what he told his wife. He told Kim today that she can't dress sexy no more.
that's why he married her.
And for her butt implants.
Look at that. He's peace out after making that comment.
Oh no, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
He did a hit and run on you, Tony.
He was switching cameras.
Yeah, but look. So he
We're getting some feedback from you, Reggie.
And then I get background noise on your end, Sharon.
Okay.
Can we
So
lower
he
the
told
TV
his
on
wife.
you? Just a little bit? Yeah.
Okay. So he told his wife she can't dress sexy no more.
Better put her in a muumuu then.
So he must saw the light now, okay? You tell her how to dress now.
I'm telling you, watch. It's gonna come back that this was all a stunt. Watch.
Now watch it be a stunt on the part of his managers, but he, like in all the things that he attempts to do, is genuine. He believes the nonsense coming out of his mouth, just like somebody with dementia or Alzheimer's or a head injury does. Again, I think his managers are milking him.
We'll see.
Yes.
I agree, Jackie.
Something is going down. Something is going down. So
yeah, well, Troy Astro just said Kirk Franklin is gospel, not that fool. Not that fool, Kanye West. Oh,
well, gosh. we're gonna see. So public opinion is still out on that. So I don't know, but give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not gonna support him because, like I said, I don't like the comment he made Saturday about slavery. I sure don't like his hanging out with Trump, and I think all that was because Jay-Z and Beyonce hung out with the Obamas. Kanye's trying to get his own president too. So his president is who? I don't even know the guy's name no more.
You know what? I was going to say something and I had to stop myself.
No, go ahead and say it.
Did it start with an F and end with a K?
Well, the thing is that when you talk about, well, the Obamas were hanging out with the more celebrity type. Look at the difference between. Hell, Trump couldn't even get anybody to come to his come perform at his inauguration. So what they
Right.
really comparing here, you know?
But one of the things is him and Jay-Z was good friends to Kanye start acting all mental on him and stuff. And that's what broke up their relationship.
So I'm doing my watch party on my page. And Joy Crawford said, just pray for Kanye.
That's all about our heads. Woman of silence. Hey, Tony. Tony, turn the volume up a little. I can't hardly hear you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
And can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I took my hearing aid out before I came on the show, so it's been kind of hard. Okay, let's move on from Kanye. Let's move on from Kanye. Everyone, pray for Kanye tonight when y'all go to bed, okay? Say a prayer for Kanye, okay? We just had a moment of silence from him, but we're going to move on.
Colleen said
okay, Colleen. Colleen, I'm going to ban you from this show, okay?
Don't do that. That's my sis. You can't ban her.
I'll say it, Colleen. I'll say it for you.
Okay, on a more serious note, what the heck is happening with these police officers, okay? I mean, I'm at home. It's a nice summer evening. I got my doors open because I can do that, okay? A neighbor notices my doors open, which is very unusual. He walks over, checks things out, doesn't see anyone, calls for a welfare check. And he calls the line, the non-emergency line, okay? And the police officers come in. This is a non-emergency. He just wants a welfare check. Okay, Laura and Hardy get there, and they started walking around the house, flashing the flashlight in the window. All of a sudden, I guess he's walking around with his gun out too.
He had to have already had his gun.
Yeah, the gun and the flashlight out.
So he does his thing. He never announces that he's a police officer. Tells her to raise her hand once. Tells her a second time, but before he can even finish telling her to raise her hand for the second time, he's killed her in front of her 8-year-old nephew.
Yeah. That part.
Like I said earlier, I'm tired of saying there are some good cops, there are some bad cops. Every cop ain't bad. I'm tired of saying that. I'm really irritated. Okay, to a certain extent, excuse the language. I'm not like Tony, but I'm gonna say it. I'm pissed off. Okay.
Shit.
Say it.
No, I ain't gonna say it. But look, I'm pissed off because white cops keep killing black unarmed individuals. Okay, I'm tired of that mess.
Yeah.
Every time you turn around, a black person is dying because a white cop trigger happy. Or either a racist is killing someone that's African American. The guy just wanted a welfare check. That's all he wanted. You go up, knock on the door, or open the door and holler in the house. Is anyone home? Ring the doorbell, do whatever, and wait for an answer. Then, if you don't get an answer, walk in, look around with your flashlight.
Continue to announce yourself.
Don't go in with your gun pulled like you're gonna kill somebody. You all's thoughts. I don't say what I got to say.
You take it from here, Jared, because I'm you know me. So it's not gonna turn out nice.
It's not supposed to be nice. It's absolutely disgusting. It's despicable. He resigned before he could get fired, but I think that they are going to hold him up on murder charges.
Well, they did.
Okay, good. It just seems to me that what little I know, and again, I preface little about procedures, is they did everything wrong. Everything wrong.
You don't have to know all the procedures to see when someone is wrong.
Oh no, I know that, but there are no words. There are absolutely no words. Either they're trigger happy because they're indoctrinated to be afraid of us from the get, or like you said, they're racist. It's, for the last 10 years, I've been saying that there's been a culling of the herd. And, we see it happening with police brutality. We see it happening with the closing of hospitals, with the closing of factories for jobs. The chokehold is getting tighter and tighter on our community. And every week, it seems like they push the envelope just a little further. They just arrested a family, I forget what state it was, for loitering on their own front yard.
Yeah, I read about that.
So it's like they keep pushing the envelope and pushing us. The question is no longer where will it stop or when will it stop, but what is the threshold that they are looking to get to? Total wipeout? Like, it's just, there are no words.
Well, why couldn't that be possible?
I'm not saying it couldn't be.
We know what genocide is about.
Yeah.
Right?
The thing is, if it'd been a white family, he would have done everything I said. He would have knocked on the door, rung the doorbell, opened the door, yelled in the house. He'd have done so much stuff, and it probably people would come running out of the house scared of him. Just from his voice. He didn't do it. Now, the only credit I'm going to give the Fort Worth Police Department and the mayor is that they moved swiftly to try to get a little control, get ahead of this situation. Because the guy he gave him the letter of reprimand or whatever you want to call it on Sunday night, okay? And with the intentions of firing him on Monday morning, but firing him Monday, but he did resign on Monday morning. The mayor has come out and apologized, but that just doesn't do anything for me. Because when I heard this Saturday, it felt like my heart sunk down into my stomach, okay?
Yep.
So I'm saying, here's another one. I'll say, okay, so who's gonna get killed this weekend? That's the attitude you have now. You're almost getting numb to this because it's happening.
And I was thinking that very same thing, because here we are almost numb to it.
Yeah.
And now they're already trying to demonize her by saying that she had a gun in the room and had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Even if she did, if
She
that
had
is
every right to. Mm-hmm.
She had every right to have a gun in her own home. Texas is an open carry state. Not to mention, if you come on someone's property, you have every right to get pellets or bullets put in your ass.
Especially if you don't identify. Especially if you don't identify.
Every right.
But, it's just what annoys me amongst the multitude of other things is this immediate hair trigger response to demonize the victim in every instance. Mm-hmm. There's no mea culpa.
Make it okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just like they did with that guy from the was it Joshua Brown? They did the same thing. Oh, he was killed doing a drug deal.
How do we know that?
Yeah. So, like I said, we just don't have a handle on this here in America yet. I'm tired of the apologies. I'm tired of the firings. I'm tired of the court cases. Like, let me tell you something. Like the young lady's father said today, he don't want no daggone hug from the judge, okay?
All right.
He wants justice.
All right.
Okay, that's what he wants. That was his only child. And he wants justice. Okay? I want justice.
It's like daylight purge. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look, I hate to say this. This is how I feel. If somebody came along and gave him what he deserves, then so be it. I ain't gonna have no hard feelings about it, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're the ones getting snuffed out. Yes, Jacqueline, you can come on. Bring Jacqueline on.
Let me send her a link.
Yeah.
For anyone who wants to come on camera.
Colleen, that's an invitation.
I don't know.
The link for you. Just a moment. All right.
That's the problem with open carry to begin with. If you can still be shot in the state for carry, when you have a permit and a right to carry, why have the law open carry to begin with?
Well, a lot, it's a lot of people
We
doing
know
open
why.
carry. It's
We know
both,
why.
African Americans doing open carry. I know guys that have permits to carry guns. That African Americans, whites carry, but I just think a lot of times with whites carrying guns, there's an alternative motive to them carrying a gun. You know, the guy I know that carry guns, have guns. They're level headed, and the only reason they carry is for self defense, and that's the only time they're gonna use it. But a
Right.
lot of times, some of these white characters, it's a macho thing, it's a racist thing, and if you breathe wrong, they're gonna shoot you. It's just like the incident that happened a while back where the guy at the convenience store shot the guy because he thought he was afraid that he was gonna get beat up because the guy was harassing his girlfriend by parking the car, and he
Mm-hmm.
just blew him away,
Right.
because he has a gun, he can do it.
Right.
But they found him guilty. Hijacking.
Hey, welcome, Jackie.
Hi, how
What's
y'all
up, man?
doing?
Namaste, Jackie.
How y'all doing tonight?
Oh,
Good.
good. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
So, what you got to say?
Yeah, it's just utterly ridiculous, like you said, and almost if you're careful, like you said, you get numb to it. But I really cannot be numb to it because see, I'll be the next one on the news.
Not gonna
You
work.
know,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. I mean, just an overhaul of it's so many different facets. Definitely people who have been bigoted their whole lives, and that's what they grew up knowing, believing that. And so many things that can play in it. Like I typed in the comments, they use black targets for gun practice. Maybe that's getting in their heads a little bit. See, here's a question: if you want to apply for the police department, a good question to ask: does black skin scare you?
You know what? And that
Does black skin scare you?
it's a valid question. It is a valid question.
Because I'm telling you,
that all has to be some kind of it. You know what? I think it's all it's a mixture of hatred. I think
and
more
right, they scared to death of
what
black
are you
people.
afraid of?
So I can't eat ice cream in my house now.
Right.
You scared of black skin. Just well, be careful about getting some chocolate ice cream because you can be killed.
Shit.
Hey, let me just. I can't have black walls. I can't have black pictures on the wall. And oops, I'm black.
Yeah.
I guess I got to go hide myself because you freaking scared of me. I mean, literally scared of my black skin. That's what makes you pop off your gun. Ah, it's black. That's what it is. You scared of black skin.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
But
and you shouldn't be on no police department.
But you know what I'm thinking about though, and when I heard this, and then when I saw that this officer had only just got out of training, I thought, well, here we are with another incident. So, I don't know why I'm getting feedback.
Maybe Jackie, you can lower your volume for a second.
Okay.
But here we are with another officer who has impeded on another black life, right? Who's to say that with all of these killings where there are white officers involved, that this is just not the instances where people that have these issues of prejudice are now starting to infiltrate the police department.
Now it's been infiltrating.
Well, I'm saying not now, but we have seen an influx of white officers who are killing blacks.
I think they're just coming out of their shell. They've always been there.
Well, they've been there
cops for years.
You're talking about, look at the last few killings. Look at the last few. We're talking about officers who have not been on duty for a long time. They hadn't put in any time. They haven't even been vested yet. They're just now getting on the force. This person, this asshole that doesn't even call out a warning.
He's just gonna
force for a year.
He's just going to go and apply to force in another district, another
He's gonna
municipality.
get. My hope is that he's gonna get fried. Okay, I mean, he murdered someone. That's the basic line. Cause like I said, the first thing he was supposed to do is say, he identify himself as a police officer. Okay, he followed none of the protocol that's necessary. Okay, and I think hopefully there are good chances that he's going to spend some time in jail. But in Texas, the jury decides how long. So
I don't think he'll get murder. Maybe manslaughter, but he won't get murder because you'll have to prove intent.
Yeah, and but intent, if it's not proven or whatever, I'm tired of them shooting black folks. Okay, I'm just tired. You get tired of it. Do you hear any white families getting shot by black cops?
No.
And out of Minneapolis, the one black cop that did shoot a white woman, he got 20-some years.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Tony, what you said though, that's something. You never know, some special recruit coming out. Hey,
because this is happening it's far too often now. And you can look back and you can tell that these folks are starting to infiltrate everything. Look at the legal system. We keep looking at it and saying, well, yeah, it's unjust. But look who's sitting in those seats.
I read an article recently
in the White House.
What state it was in, where they were advertising for joining the police officers in Breitbart and other racist websites and newsletters.
So what do you
and the police department was called out on that, and they supposedly pulled the ad.
Bullshit.
They didn't know if you're gonna get off Breitbart.
The ad from public view.
Right.
The ad doesn't have to stay on that long. The word gets out.
Exactly.
Okay?
In today's time, in technology, I agree.
Look, but you don't even need to join the police force. If you go online and do research, you can find all of these instances where people are souping up their cars to make them look like police cars with the lights and the sirens and buying fake IDs and fake uniforms. It's like they're getting ready for something.
Well, look, let me tell you something. Every young black male here in the DC area has a souped up old police car, because you can go to auctions and get them. Okay, I hate that. Okay, because they put tinted windows on them. You don't know. Like Saturday morning, I was going to work. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm looking straight ahead. I see a car that looks like a police car, but when I get up on it, it has South Carolina tags on it and tinted windows. I hate that. I don't think they should sell these cars at auctions. If they do, they should make them repaint them or whatever, but don't sell them, because there are a lot of young black men who are using these cars because they're cheap. Okay, they surplus cars and they're cheap. I hate seeing these cars on the highway.
Well, these weren't black men buying these cars and souping them up, I'll tell you that much.
Well,
and it was really frightening because they were actually driving up and stopping people and harassing them and making it seem like they're police officers. 2 people got arrested, fortunately. But that's 2 out of how many?
Yeah.
Right.
Nationwide that are perpetrating a fraud and making it seem like they're part of EMS, they're part of the local police force or something like that. It just, to me, seems like these folks are galvanizing themselves and getting ready for some kind of.
But you got to be careful across the board, because even in my area, which is mostly African American, they stop African Americans doing the same thing. Okay, so we got to be constant of each time a police officer starts. If you're in a bad area with no light, keep driving until you get to an area with light. If you don't want to talk to the officer, call the police station, ask for the sergeant to do it or the commander to do it to come to the site. Okay, we have to learn what our rights are. Okay, and that's not what we're going to beat this thing. Okay, we got to know our rights, and it's sad we got to be like that, but we got to know what we can do. Okay,
so I get that, Reg. I get that. But where were the rights recognized with Atatiana Jefferson?
They don't give up. What?
Where were the rights?
They don't care.
With the young man Brown.
Yeah.
Where were the rights recognized with Tavon Martin?
Yeah.
Where were the rights recognized with all of these black men and women, Sandra Bland? Where were their rights recognized when it came to them losing their life? They were still demonized.
Mhm.
They were still held up.
And we will.
Not
Look,
everybody can be stopped by a cop and say, I don't answer questions.
yeah,
We
we
can't all get away
always
with
be
that.
we gonna always be demonized. Like I agree with Jackie. We don't know if we're gonna be the next ones. Okay, that's what we got to be faced with every day when we go out. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so hard on police officers tonight, but I'm just tired of the daggone killings. Okay, and I'm just fed up with it. I don't want to deal with it no more. I don't want to hear about another black person getting shot by a white cop. Because what's going to happen? I'm sorry to say this, okay? And then somebody might report me to the Maryland Judicial Ethics Committee for me saying this. But what's going to happen? People are going to wake up and they're going to start popping off on some police officers, which is not right, which doesn't
That's
change
what's gonna
things. But people get to a point where they get fed up, okay? All right, let's keep it real. Okay, people do have a breaking point.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't wish no harm on any police officer. It's a tough job because I see a ton of them in the morning at the restaurant. So I don't want to wish that on no one. Okay, I tell them all to have a safe day. But the thing is, what is our safe day?
Right.
As
right.
citizens, okay. When you have white cops that just want to
not
pop
being black.
Jackie, what was that?
I said, it looks like not being black. But oh
Yeah.
well, I can't change the skin, so
Give me some Clorox and pull it on top of it.
right. Bleach,
Look.
Clorox, what you
Give
figure?
me a shirt and a hat and say,
Yeah.
please don't give me a shirt and a hat and say, Mr. Police Officer, please don't shoot me. Maybe that might save me, okay? But it's ridiculous, okay? It is ridiculous. That young lady did not have to die.
No. And I think what bothers me, not only with the fact that she was killed unjustly.
Yeah.
Okay, I think what bothers me is that this is something that is going to stay with a young boy throughout his adulthood, throughout his life, that could ultimately affect, his spirit,
Yeah.
affect how he lives, and it's just that kind of violence, and especially in the face of children and young people, it perpetuates more violence. It perpetuates more hatred. It perpetuates how people are going to live, and how they don't live, because you get to a point where you don't want to go out of the house. You don't want to see a cop car coming up behind you. You don't want to see them in your neighborhood, even though that they're supposed to be there to protect and serve. But now we're getting to a point that we don't want to see them, no matter what. We could have somebody fall out dead in our house, or we can have something going on in our house, but you don't want to call the cops for fear that they'll come in and they'll shoot you dead over an argument. Yeah. That's where we are.
And that's sad. That is very sad.
And I try to keep that in mind, because on one hand, where you walking by a cop and it's part of you, like I just try to put my mind with the good cops. I be trying to put myself in their shoes. Look, they're trying to come home to their families too. That's why I gotta try to remember that there are good cops. Because I admit, I don't want to get to a point where I mistrust to police. I just gotta keep in mind and remember there's some good cops. They just want to get home to their families too.
Yeah, and that's very true. But I think it's a lot of frustration in the African American community now when it comes to officers and the killings of innocent blacks, but at the hands of white cops. Okay, and that's what it is. Now I can see if it was, and I hate to say this, I can see if it was equal opportunity killing. Okay, it's not. Okay, it is not. Okay.
And what's interesting, Colleen just wrote, as a single white female, she's had horrible issues with police and that they scare her. We all should be afraid. We really should.
That for years. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just our problem. We may be getting the brunt of it, but it is not just our problem. Because when they get rid of us, what do you think, that suddenly the police force is going to become this peace, love, and granola Force? No, they'll be fully militarized. And, even now there's a big debate about a couple of new jailhouses proposed for Lower Manhattan. We don't need that shit here. We don't want that. Right in the heart of Chinatown, casting a shadow over the entire community.
Insanity.
Yeah.
Insanity.
Okay,
We've got a couple more minutes. We got 10 minutes.
Let's switch gears real quick, and I want to talk about Joshua Brown for a minute. Granted, whatever happened in his life, okay, and everything, and it's sad that he's no longer with us. But he was a key witness in this trial, okay.
Guyger.
The Guyger trial, okay. He was a key witness. Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I'm gonna throw one out there, okay. Who's not to say that there weren't a certain couple of cops on the Dallas police force that hated that he got one of their own 10 years in jail, and how we know they didn't pay these 3 black guys to kill him.
My thoughts.
My thoughts exactly. I was surprised that somebody online who posted the article that claimed that he was killed during a drug deal gone bad. They were buying marijuana. First of all, you don't very often hear about people buying weed, shooting each other. That's one thing. And then these guys supposedly drove 4 or 5 hours out of their way to meet him for the purpose of buying this marijuana. Also something you don't hear about. I find the whole thing highly suspect. And the person online was like, but they've got three guys who confessed. So I'm like, oh, the Central Park 5 confessed. What does that mean? That means absolutely nothing. These guys have throwaway guns and whatnot. I just, this guy was running away from violence, because he had that club altercation, I don't know, a year or so ago, moved from one apartment to another to avoid that whole mess. So,
but he did not have a criminal background that would, cause you pause.
Yeah.
This was a young man that was doing things.
Mm-hmm.
He had started to become an
entrepreneur. Oh, excuse me.
All of these things.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Reggie.
But it's like, again, we point the finger at the victim and make the victim look bad.
Because it's so easy. We've allowed them for years, for generations, for decades to criminalize us. We're criminal by default. It is so easy to believe that we kill each other, that we died in a drug bust, that we were members of a gang. Say any bad thing you want. If God forbid something were to happen to Reggie tomorrow in some police altercation, they could make some nonsense up like he was part of Pizzagate and people would believe him.
Mm-hmm.
Because
there's my pants backwards for some reason, okay?
Yeah. Because there's this willingness to accept the narrative that we're all criminal by nature.
Mm-hmm. But something, it's never going to change. They're always going to point the finger at us and try to find the negative stuff in our lives, okay? I don't care if you're the most outstanding citizen out there, they're going to try to take you down. Just like with the young lady in Fort Worth, they try to say, like you said, Sharon, that she had a gun, okay? They're going to try to find some type of excuse to justify what they're doing, And like I said, I really think this, we'll never know the truth behind Josh Brown's killing, okay?
No, we won't.
Because rogue cops can get done what they want to get done. We might ain't never hear about their trial and how many years they get in jail, okay?
Yep. Nope. We won't hear about it.
I'm just sitting back waiting to see how long it takes before the purge is actually enacted. Because that's what it feels like.
Yeah, that's where we are.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we are. And it's truly sad, that in today's times or in any other time that we have to live under all of this killing. It's sad that, for those of us who have children and grandchildren, that this is the world that they are growing up in. And it's equally, and if not more sad, that we can't send our children to school and have faith that they will be coming home because of, the many guns that are on the street because someone has a hair up their ass about certain beliefs or just belief of hatred, killing folks for the color of their skin. That is the world we're living in right now. And it does concern me. It bothers me to a point where it is, is sickening to my stomach. Every time I hear another report on any news outlet that there's another Black person that has lost their life at the hand of a white officer, or children missing, and all, you don't hear. We didn't hear about all this stuff. It might have been happening, but now it is in heavy grove, and it's sickening. It makes me weep. It does. It makes me weep. And here we are trying to live our best life. And is this really our best life? What does it look like? What does our best life look like?
Even if we get rid of the parasite in the White House, it's going to take years to get this country back to where it was. Okay,
to undo this damage.
Not
the country, internationally.
Yeah, we might not even see it in our lifetime when this country gets back to where it was before the parasite in the White House took over. Okay, and it's sad that this country, he has really torn this country apart.
Yeah.
Like you said, Sharon, on the international level, it's like I was looking at Joe Scarborough this morning, and people around the world are through the United States because they say they can't depend on the United States, especially after what he did with Syria, okay, and the Kurds, okay. It's like Turkey has some dirt on him. The president of Turkey called and said, "Look, if we don't give it up, we're gonna give you up." And I know it centers around the Trump towers in Turkey. I know there's some dirt behind that, and that the parasite doesn't want this information to come out.
Bless you. So you're working on that for a while.
Say bullshit.
So
maybe.
Yeah. So we got to keep on. We got to keep on pushing. But we've had a lively discussion tonight.
Yeah, it went by quick.
Yeah.
It really went by very, very quickly. Any last words for anyone?
Well, pray for Kanye tonight, please. Just really pray for Kanye. He needs it. Seriously, he needs it. He's got to find his way in life. And how he gonna get there, I don't know. And poor Kim, she got to start putting sackcloth over her body now. Kanye told her not to dress sexy no more.
Look, Kim, Kim Kardashian skin.
Don't tempt your baby daddy like that.
I think that's right. Woo! But look, I'm gonna tell you something. I think his attitude and what he wants Kim to do is gonna lead him into a divorce court. Okay. I don't think she's gonna bow down like that. Okay.
Thanks for the invitation, Colleen, but I'd rather not.
All I got to say is living my best life looks like being able to carry some candy and some iced tea on the street, being able to walk around in my house, eat a bowl of ice cream, being able to go through a routine traffic stop, and being able to testify as a witness, all without getting killed. How about that?
There you go.
Put your curtain, keep your curtain down in your house, okay?
How about that for a best life? Is that what we got to shoot for now?
Yeah. Would it matter? Would it matter?
My best life sounds like I'm on the beach in Barbados. That's what it sounds like, or in Ireland, or someplace, any place but here. Honestly.
Exactly. Well, guys, all we can do is continue in praying for ourselves, our family, our fellow man, our country,
or my sister's yurt.
That's where we are. And it's sad that, I'm not saying that it's sad that we have to, pray about stuff like this, but it is sad that we've been reduced to not, like I said, living our best life or even knowing what that means. Because I think all of us when we are in our cars every day and we're making it back and forth to our places of business or work or wherever we're going in our daily lives. I can
Mhm.
almost bet you that all of us have something that runs across our mind. Am I in a safe place?
Mhm.
That's where we are.
Used to feel safer.
Yeah, that's where we are. Looking for exits.
Mhm.
That's where we are. So um, I'm done.
Me too.
Okay.
This
You
bird is cooked. Mhm.
more? Okay. Well, I just want to say to everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight to Real World News TV with Reggie Kearney and Cherry Ann Tappan, and of course, the lovely Miss Jacqueline Price, who has joined us as our guest. I'm Tony Breedlove, sitting in for Mr. Derek Terry. Make sure that you come on back here every Tuesday night at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Central, and 8:30 on the East Coast. Make sure to follow us on Facebook under Real World News TV, where you'll get notifications of all the shows. If you want to catch up on any of the past shows, head on over to our website at hottopicstalkradio.com. You'll see the show link at the top of the page. You can catch up on past shows. Go to our archives. That's where a lot of the stuff is. Also, while you're there at the website, make sure that you visit the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network store so you can purchase your t-shirt, your sweatshirts, your coffee cups, your chair as our walking billboard. And I can't wait for the weather to cool down so I can wear my sweatshirt. So make sure that you do head on over to the website and purchase your merchandise there. Tomorrow night, come back and join us on Hot Topics. Stop it, Jared. Really? So damn,
Look, the show topic drives me to drink, Tony. That's the problem. Okay, I got to squeeze the cup to get the last drip out.
So make sure that you come on back here tomorrow night, Wednesday, at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 10 o'clock Central, and 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Tomorrow night, you can join me, Tony Breedlove, Yvonne Baker, and Chris Smith on Hot Topics Talk Radio. Again, the show starts at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific. As always, we thank you for your support, and we look forward to seeing you back here next week on Tuesday with Real World News TV. Have a good night, everybody. God
And
bless.
thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely, all the time. So be safe, everybody. Watch your back. Love
Good
you.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. All right, all right, all right. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Come on back and see us next week on Tuesday. Have a good night, everybody.